3 years ago, I remember staring at a blank screen, trying to write my first YouTube script. I type a single line, delete it, rewrite it, type another line, rewrite it, delete it, and it was a complete mess and a whole lot of frustration. So if you're stuck staring at a blank Google Doc, this video is for you because I'm going to show you how to go from having zero ideas and coming up with the ideas with AI and having no script and coming up with a full script with AI and then polishing it to have a good final product. All of this in less than 10 minutes. Let me show you. So you could use tools like Claude or ChatGPT to come up with the ideas, but the truth is you want ideas that are data backed, meaning that you have evidence from YouTube to prove that this video idea actually works, and that way the probability of your idea actually working when you post it on YouTube is substantially higher. So you want to get data backed ideas, and the tool that we use is not Claude, it's not ChatGPT, it's called Subscriber.ai, and we've had users of this tool hit 100,000 subscribers on their channel, all by automating the ideation and the script writing part of their video. So the first thing that you need to do when you log into your Subscriber.ai dashboard is you got to connect your YouTube channel. So you can go to channels over here and then you can click add channel and then you can connect your channel immediately. So let's say I'm a complete beginner and I have no YouTube channel at all, but I have an inspiration for a channel that I look at that I want to actually write scripts for. So I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to search for, similar channel inspiration that I want to write scripts for. So let's say there's this channel Archivist that's absolutely popping off right now. It has videos with 250,000 views 3 weeks ago, and these are like AI storytelling channels. Let's say I want to write a script for this channel. I want to mimic this channel over here. So what I can do is I can take the ad of the channel, I can copy it, and then I can paste it in here into the remix channel. So it'll take what works from an existing channel and add your own unique perspective. Let me paste the channel ad over here. I want to put Archivist Copycat, right? Let's just say we want to have that be the channel name. How will you make it different? I want the videos to be specifically on the history of Europe, not the entire world. There you go. So I'm just going to go create remix and then it'll start creating a new audience avatar just like that. And there you go, European history, conspiracy seeker, right? You can come up with your entire audience avatar, just like that, just with the click of a couple buttons, right? And it will duplicate the voice of the channel that you are trying to remix over there. So even if you have no experience with YouTube, right, you can very immediately define your audience avatar and create a voice for the faceless channel or the personal brand channel that you are trying to have. And then once you have your audience and once you have a voice, which usually takes the most amount of time, right? Normally, if you use a normal AI tool, it'll take you like an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 5 hours to even put together this audience avatar by copy pasting a bunch of YouTube links. But now you can do it with just a click of a button with this tool. So now that we've got the audience part down, let's go into the ideation phase. So next thing that I want to do is I would want to create a new chat here, and then I can select the specific channel over here, and then I can start talking to the chatbot to find certain video ideas. So I'm just going to click the find video ideas button and it comes up with a full prompt here. And then I want to see what video ideas it manages to come up with. And there you go. It immediately, finds 5 new video ideas based on a competitor, right? Based on an outlier analysis of a competitor. And you can see here the titles that it comes up with, right? The topic is megalithic foundations of European capitals, the architectural anomaly that proves Europe's capitals are 5,000 years old. It's actually a pretty good title. The quote unquote stupid cartography error that reveals a forgotten continental catastrophe. It's actually also pretty good. The buried windows that prove that European Great Mud Flood happened in 1842. Okay, so this is like a little bit more niche, right? They laughed at the Star Forts. Okay, I'm not too sure what that is. The one suppressed record that collapses the entire official Dark Ages chronology. So over here, just like that, you have 5 video ideas, right? Let's say you're not happy with the video ideas. I'm not happy with these video ideas. Come up with 10 more, right? And you can see over here, our audience is for people who are interested in European history and European architecture specifically. But you can see over here, all of these titles are super targeted towards, and it also is able to search all of these specific topics over here. And here, with the press of a button, you get even more video ideas, right? The forbidden 16th century map that shows Europe's coastline was rewritten. Why the Vatican concealed all evidence of European giants. Actually, this is pretty good, right? Why are the doors, ceilings, and armor in certain ancient European castles also scaled for beings far larger than us. The official count is a lie of convenience. This is actually pretty good. I mean, just reading this, I feel super duper curious. So, right, just like that, I have 10 potential video ideas, or you can keep talking to it for even more video ideas. But let's say I like this idea. I'm just going to click on it and it's going to give me a core overview of what the specific idea is, right? The topic, the title, the target length, right? So it's asking me questions, right? So I want the target length to be, let's say 20 minutes long. Let's write the script, and bang, just like that, right? It's gonna start writing the script for me, and it's gonna take me through the entire process just like a normal scriptwriter would. So you can see over here, it starts opening a canvas over here. It picks a documentary template, which is basically what this video is, and it decides a certain script length based on this. So it asks me to refine your script based on these questions. So there are a bunch of questions here that, you know, if I know the answer to, I can just answer these questions, and then it will use that as research for these specific questions. Or you can also add additional context here, right? It has the 2 channels that I pulled up. But if you don't have additional research here, or you don't really know how to do research, what we've done is that we've built in Perplexity over here that you can do AI research within this tool. So you can see here, once I click that, it immediately starts generating suggestions for articles. So Vatican archives, architectural drawings of anomalous structures. So yes, European folklore, yes. Like let's say I want to, you know, start these 2 researchers, and then it will start researching those specific topics and coming up with research that I can use in this specific script too. Or if I want to search YouTube, over here you can see I search Vatican architecture, and there are a bunch of videos over here, right? Vatican building a sacred megastructure, right? 52 minutes video. So let's say I want this 52-minute video to use as context for this specific video. I can click here, I can click add video, and immediately it will start transcribing that content so that I can also use it for within my script. And you can see over here the research capacity 8,000 out of 75,000. So you can add 75,000 words, which is the equivalent of an entire book over here. But let's say I'm super duper happy with this. I'm just going to close out my research, and you can see over here I have all of the research done. Here we have a prompt library, and here I can also choose the different AI model that I like to use. I like to use, in terms of documentary scripts, I like to use GPT-5. I find that to be the most effective over here. So let's just generate the outline and see what it gives us, right? Of course, I can type more answers into this, but you can see over here, just with the press of a couple buttons, you can write your first script with AI, and it's YouTube optimized. So I'm just going to click generate outline to see what it gives us, and we'll be right back. Okay, I mean, in less than 2 seconds, it started generating this already, right? You can see it starts with a code open, it sets the stakes, it has a hook pattern, call to action seed. This follows the structure of an actual documentary video because, right, Subscriber AI is trained on over 40,000 plus viral videos. That means it understands the structure of what makes a viral documentary, and it's able to write a script based on that. So you can see here the word count for each part of this, and it just keeps producing, and now we've got the entire outline. So at this point, you can do a couple things, right? What I would do is I would read this entire script to see if I like it or not, right? Whether you like the structure, you set the stakes, you have the action, you have the impact, you have the parallel action, what nobody knew, the complication, and the micro story. All right, let's just read this section, right? The armor problem. If the armor was parade only, why consistent sizing above known anthroponomics, right? Catalog case studies, extra tall, Either a class of outlier bodies existed, or these were props, provenance, tags, are vague or post 19th century, what nobody knew, restoration notes disclose non-standard internal padding added. Okay. A conservator emits off-camera to fit models. Okay, so there's the controversy here. Bureau reports listing unusually large femora reclassified as The body size questions bleeds into the ground itself, submerged levels, and regraded cities. Okay, so I mean, this looks pretty good so far. And you can see how, like, I have absolutely no knowledge of European history or European architecture, and yet you can write a script for pretty much any niche because it's able to do the research for you. So let's say this is like pretty good. So I'm just gonna click script over here, and then it'll tell you the number of credits that we use. Just click here, generate script, and let's see, we told it to have, you know, a 20-minute script. Let's see how many words it actually comes out to. And bang, you can see over here, right, you have the opening, you have the body, and you have the entire script written in literally like less than 2 minutes, which I think is pretty sick. And you can just give this a read, right? You can pause the video whenever, you can put the video on 0.5x. Let's just read the specific section, right? Let's zoom in on the continental record, where stories, stones, and scribbles on William overlap. If folklore, cartography, and architecture all point to the scale variance, dismissing as legend is lazy, we need to examine patterns, right? if cultural memory preserved a builder class larger than us, then aren't random fantasy, they're degraded recollections of a real presence. That matters because memory persists where archives fall, the built environment is hard to censor, or tradition is even harder. Okay, stakes first, action, right? Survey pre-170 law clusters across the British Isles, Scandinavian Atlantic facade. You hear the same claim: great stones were giant laid, roads giant made, gates augur high. Inland mountain dwellers named as giants, not gods, carry lintels and hurl boulders on the continent. Move your finger across the map and you'll notice density spikes. So let's say like you don't like this specific section, right? I personally think that the words are a little too big. What you can do is you can actually just highlight this specific section, and then we have this thing called improve, right? So the difference between Subscriber and using Claude or using ChatGPT is that when you prompt it to rewrite a certain section, it will actually regenerate the entire script, right? And when it regenerates the entire script, sometimes it hallucinates because it goes beyond a certain context window. So what we've actually built in here is you can highlight a certain section and only use AI to edit that specific section, and it will still flow entirely. So let's say this specific section is too complicated, right? I can click AI improve here, and then a box will immediately pop up, and then I can be like, oh, I want to simplify the language here. Let's say I want to simplify the language, and immediately it will start prompting and it will only simplify that specific section, which I think is pretty cool. There you go, and it edits only that specific section. We also have this prompt library where you're like, hey, if I don't really like the hook, you can click over here, you can strengthen the hook, and then it will suggest 2 to 3 specific different types of hooks over here. And right, you can see it gives you the current hook, it gives you a hook analysis, and it gives you the weaknesses, and then it gives you recommendations in terms of how to edit it, right? So you can see over here, it immediately rewrites the hook. It gives you 3 different hook options, which I think is pretty cool, right? The gate doesn't budge, right? So you can see over here, look at this door, it's 2.5 meters high. The hinges are worn from centuries of use. Now look at armor in the museum. The proportions don't match any skeleton. And these stairs, the risers are too tall for human comfort. Yet the wear patterns show that they were used daily for hundreds of years. Something doesn't add up. Actually, pretty like option number 2. All right, so option number 3, I don't really like the first line. Here's the problem. So let's say I like option number 2 because it leads with visual evidence. So I'm going to tell I like option number 2, and then it's going to replace the specific section over here, and it's going to edit the content directly, which I think is pretty cool. And bam, you can see over here, just like magic, it replaces it with the new specific section over there. And yeah, just like that, you've gone from having no idea what channel that you want to use to coming up with your first video ideas with the AI, because it is data backed and it's able to suggest really strong video ideas with actually pretty strong titles, as you would have seen. And then you can write the full script, you can do evidence all within Subscriber AI. You don't have to pay for a bunch of other random tools. And yeah, pretty much just this one tool is all that you need in order to write with AI. So hopefully this video was helpful to help you go from having no idea how to use AI to write your first script to writing an entire script, having your next video ideas for the next 3 months down in literally less than a 1-hour session. You can check out Subscriber AI. There is a 7-day free trial, so you can just test it completely free. Also, if you want to learn how to grow your YouTube channel with AI, click on this video over here. I go over all of the basics on running a YouTube channel with AI so that you can succeed with your YouTube in 2026. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.